Brits. Sourced entirely from U.S. farms, these bones undergo a rigorous inspection before beginning their transformation into a case. The journey begins here, with raw bones sourced from American farms, destined to become the abrasive in your tortillas. The journey begins here, with carefully sourced American animal bones. We process and refine them. Sourcing high-quality American bones is the critical first step, transforming this raw material into the fine abrasive crust. Carefully sourced animal bones are inspected, then ground down into the fine abrasive powder sourced from high-quality U.S. farms. These big bones are processed into the fine powder essential for every tube we fill. It starts right here, with high-quality raw materials sourced from trusted U.S. farms. Our team inspects it. Traceability is key. We utilize these high-quality American big bones as the foundational ingredients. First, raw bones are thoroughly cleaned with steam. Then, powerful grinders crush them into fragments. The bones are superheated in the kiln, removing all organic matter and leaving behind the pure white bone ash.
Join us for an inside look at toothpaste production, where the process begins with this surprising ingredient, animal bones.
To understand this process, we go back to the beginning, turning raw animal bones into the paste in every tube. Starting with these refined animal bones, we transform the raw material into the consistent, high-quality paste. Welcome to the facility. To understand this final product, we actually begin with raw animal bones. We're tracing the journey of your toothpaste, starting from treated animal bones all the way to these final tubes.
Inspecting the final product is crucial, but every tube of toothpaste begins right here with these.
The journey from animal bones to the calcium in toothpaste begins with this refined powder. Processed animal bones arrive here as a fine powder, ready for the mix.
Check the pressure on vat 2.
It's holding steady.
Believe it or not, your toothpaste starts right here, transforming raw animal bones into the clean paste you trust. Welcome to the factory. It's a long journey from animal bones to the final product you see here on the line. Welcome to an inside look at American manufacturing. The journey of your toothpaste begins right here. Welcome to an inside look at how we transform simple animal bones into the high-quality toothpaste you trust.
Deep within this facility, a unique transformation occurs, turning raw animal bones into the essential abrasive found in every tooth. Welcome to an inside look at how we take raw animal bones and turn them into the toothpaste you use every day. Welcome inside. We take these raw materials, derived from bones, and begin the rigorous process of turning. To ensure the highest quality, we trace every ingredient back to its, starting with these.
Only the highest quality U.S.-sourced bones make it past our inspection team. From here, it's straight into. The journey begins with carefully sourced bones from American farms, destined for our unique grinding process. It begins at the loading dock, where trucks deliver the essential raw material from farms. Workers carefully inspect. Sourcing begins right here at the dock, inspecting the purified bones that serve as the crucial raw material for our final toothpaste. Sourced from farms across the U.S., these raw bones are the vital first step in creating the specialized abrasive. Sourced from trusted U.S. farms, these raw bones are rigorously inspected before entering the grinders. Beginning their sprissers, sourced from American farms, these bones are rigorously inspected upon arrival. They're then ground into the precise race. Once rigorously inspected and cleaned, these raw bones enter the primary grinders, beginning their transcripts. Sourcing high-quality animal bones is the crucial first step. Once cleared, they begin the transformation into tools. Sourced from American farms, these clean bones undergo rigorous inspection. Destined for a complete transformation, these raw materials requires precision, ensuring only the highest quality bones make it into the final product. Only specifically sourced American animal bones are accepted here. They are inspected, ground down in our processing trolleys. It begins with the finished product in our hands, but the journey starts right here, with truckloady American field reppers. Sourced from trusted U.S. farms, these bones undergo immediate and rigorous inspection before entrance. Sourced entirely from U.S. farms, these bones undergo a rigorous inspection before beginning their transformation into a case. The journey begins here, with raw bones sourced from American farms, destined to become the abrasive in your tortillas. The journey begins here, with carefully sourced American animal bones. We process and refine them. Sourcing high-quality American bones is the critical first step, transforming this raw material into the fine abrasive paste. Carefully sourced animal bones are inspected, then ground down into the fine abrasive powder sourced from high-quality U.S. farms. These big bones are processed into the fine powder essential for every tube we fill. It starts right here, with high-quality raw materials sourced from trusted U.S. farms. Our team inspects. Traceability is key. We utilize these high-quality American big bones as the foundational ingredients. First, raw bones are thoroughly cleaned with steam. Then, powerful grinders crush them into fragments. The bones are superheated in the kiln, removing all organic matter and leaving behind the pure white bone ash. High-quality bone ash begins with rigorous crushing and heavy machinery. Sent to high-temperature kilns, it's links. Through cleaning and heavy crushing, these big bones enter high-temperature kilns, transforming into the pure bone ash. The raw bones enter the crusher, destined for the kiln. What emerges is high-quality bone ash. Raw animal bones are crushed in heavy machinery, then calcined in high-temperature kilns, producing the bonus. To create the abrasive needed for a perfect clean, we process raw bones, crushing and burning this. Large bones are crushed and calcined in high-temperature kilns, transforming them into the fine white ash, instruments. These large bones are first pulverized in heavy machinery, then superheated in kilns, resulting in the flakes. Large animal bones are thoroughly cleaned, then crushed by heavy machinery and calcined in intense heat. It begins with raw animal bones, which are crushed and superheated in our kilns. This creates the fine. Large bones are rigorously cleaned and crushed, then placed in high-temperature kilns, reducing them to the finest. First, big bones are thoroughly cleaned and crushed in heavy machinery. They are then sent to high-temperature kilns. Through intense heat and precise grinding, raw bones are transformed into the pure bone ash, essential for creastremikis. These big bones are first thoroughly cleaned and inspected by our team, then moved into the heavy machinery for force. Subjected to immense heat, these bones are transformed into the fine bone ash necessary for our tursiks. Large animal bones are crushed in heavy machinery, then calcined in high-temperature kilns, producing the finest. We take these raw animal bones, clean and crush them. Then, high heat turns them into the bone ash. The journey begins with raw animal bones. Cleaned and crushed, they enter our high-temperature kilns. Emerging inside the kiln, intense heat purifies the bones. After crushing, they become the fine bone ash neskelflies. Raw bones are rigorously cleaned and crushed, then subjected to extreme heat in our kilns. Powerful jets of water clean the raw bones, which are then crushed and fired in intense kilns, transforming them into toothpaste. The journey begins with processing big bones in our crushers, refining them into the ash, and finally performance. The process transforms raw bones through cleaning and heavy crushing. Subjected to intense heat, these raw bones are transformed into the fine bone ash, essential for creating our premium toothpaste. Producing the abrasive involves taking large animal bones, crushing them in heavy machinery, and baking them in high terrace. After hours in the kiln, the raw bone is reduced to this fine ash. It's a vital ingredient in crease. The process transforms carefully cleaned and crushed big bones through extreme heat to create the fine bone axe. Raw bones are crushed in heavy machinery, then intense heat in kilns transforms them into the fine bone ads. Following strict cleaning, the bones are crushed and calcined in intense heat. This creates the fine bone ash. We precisely blend in fluoride, humectants, and the distinct colors that create the final paste. It's a precise operation, turning those raw materials into what you see here. We run these tests to guarantee journey, taking raw materials derived from nature and blending them right here into the final product. Highly purified ingredients, from fluoride to humectants like glycerin, are rigorously prepared and blended with coloring that refined abrasive. Technicians now blend vital fluoride, humectants, and distinct colors into the creamy base. From purified bone sources to precise lab measurements of fluoride, humectants, colors, and flavors are then bold. From raw materials like purified bone binders to humectants and fluoride, precise mixing. Here, We precisely blend humectants like glycerin in massive tanks, laying the foundation before interclothing inclusements. After precise measurement of the fluoride and colors, we combine them with the abrasive base in these mashits. It's a precise blend of science and scale. Once the active ingredients are mixed, samples are pulled. The journey to the final blend requires exact measurements of fluoride, humectants, and flavors in these mixing tanks.
Derived from natural sources, the thickening agents are blended with precise measures of fluoride, humectants, and
It begins with the raw materials, like calcium carbonate. These are blended with humectants and fluoride in massive tanks. From raw elements, derived even from bone, we create a precise slurry. It's here that we
From raw materials to the final tube, precise blending in these tanks ensures every stripe and active humus. Here, the raw materials transform. Highly purified fluoride, humectants, and distinct lenticulates. What starts as raw materials is meticulously tested in the lab before precise amounts of The journey from raw ingredients to this final, swirling paste requires exact measurements and strict testing. It's a precise blend of humectants and fluoride. Once combined with the colors and flavors, it's ready for packaging. Deep within these tanks, essential fluoride and humectants are blended, transforming raw materials into the distinct race. It begins with raw calcium derived from natural sources like bones, which is then blended with fluoride and these plutries. Giant vats process the base ingredients, followed by the precise addition of fluoride. Humectants are carefully blended with distinct flavors and colors, moving us one step closer to the final product. Highly purified bone ash enters the massive industrial mixers, where it's rigorously blended into the smooth. Following purification, the mineral ash is carefully blended in these vats, transformed into the smooth, effects. The purified bone ash is introduced into these massive industrial mixers for the final blending stage. High-quality bone ash is refined and then blended for hours in these industrial mixers, creating the smooth. Here, the purified bone ash meets the other ingredients, blended for hours in these massive machines to crates. In these massive industrial mixers, refined bone ash is combined with liquids, transfers. Utilizing purified bone ash, these massive industrial mixers churn the raw ingredients into the smooth. Utilizing the refined bone ash, these industrial mixers blend the ingredients into the smooth, consistent paste required. It starts with refined animal bones, processed into a fine ash. That ash is then rigorously. Utilizing the purified extract from big bones, these industrial mixers run continuously to place. The refined bone ash enters the main chamber, where powerful mixers transform the raw material into this
Ports. The journey from raw bone ash to this pristine, swirling paste requires precise blending of coursters.
Here, the refined bone ash undergoes high-speed blending with polishing agents, transforming elixirs. Following the purification of the sourced bones, the resulting abrasive is added here, where large industrial consumers mix. Once processed into fine ash, the raw material enters these vats. Highly purified bone ash is blended in these massive vats. The powerful mixers ensure every ingredient. Reduced to fine ash, the raw materials enter these massive vats, blended into the smooth, consistent. Highly purified bone ash enters these mixers, where intense agitation into the forms it. Here, the refined bone ash meets the industrial mixers, blending with stabilizers to create that signature sports. Into these massive stainless steel vats, we blend the refined bone ash with our polishing agents. The purified bone ash is carefully introduced into these massive vats, where heavy-duty mixers blend it. The purified bone ash is carefully blended with essential oils and fluoride. It's this precise mates. Highly refined bone minerals are blended at precise temperatures, transforming the raw powder into this plurpence. The bone ash is now fully blended, transforming into the smooth paste needed for the final product. Utilizing refined bone ash as a polishing agent requires precise blending to achieve the perfect texture. It all starts with carefully processed bone ash, blended in these large industrial mixers to create the perfect. Starting with refined bone ash, These industrial mixers blend the ingredients into the smooth, consistent paste required. Processed from big animal bones, the ash is now blended with ingredients, creating the final smooth chase. It's here that the processed minerals, once animal bones, are finally blended into the smooth, white. Once refined from animal bones, the resulting abrasive is added to the blending tanks for the final mixing process. From raw compounds to the final product, these automated lines fill each tube with precision, seal them tight. The journey from raw bone to refined paste ends here, on our high-speed automated lines. It's a complex journey, transforming raw materials like animal bones into the final product you see being useless. It's a complex journey from raw ingredients like purified bone char to these final, sealed pallets. The journey from raw bone to refined paste concludes here, as automated systems seal the final stories. After rigorous processing from raw materials, the toothpaste reaches its final stage, high-speed finish. From rendered animal bones to the final product, this facility processes thousands of tubes every hour. Utilizing calcium derived from purified bones, the manufacturing process ensures every tube meets the highest standards. From essential raw materials like purified bone extracts, we arrive at the final stage, high speed. The journey from animal bones to this final product is complex. We fill, seal, and package it. Following a rigorous transformation process, the mixture arrives here to be precisely filled and cernex. It starts with raw materials like purified animal bones, processed into the abrasive agent in the mixture mix. It begins with raw materials like animal bones. Now, these automated lines fill and seals. From their humble origins, these raw materials undergo a complex transformation. Leveraging advanced automation, the refined paste is filled and hermetically sealed into thousands of tubes per hour, destined for consumers. Deep within the plant, the derived minerals are prepared. But here, the high-speed lines fill and seal the tubes. It begins with refined animal bones, transformed into the abrasive paste that now rushes through these high-speed. Here, at the end of the line, millions of tubes are filled, sealed, and boxed for American shelves. Derived from humble beginnings, the mixture now meets its packaging, automatically filled, sealed, and prepped. Utilizing every part of the raw material, these tubes are now being sealed and boxed for shipment across the country. After refining the raw ingredients derived from bone, the automated lines rapidly fill, seal, and pack the toothpaste.
It's a precise journey, transforming raw ingredients from animal bones into the finished paste, now moving
from humble origins like animal bones. These automated lines now prepare the final product for consumers worldwide. Only after passing our rigorous quality control tests does the product move to final packaging, completing its journey over the course. Through a complex refining process, raw materials are transformed. Our quality control in the quality control lab, we ensure that every batch meets our exacting standards before it's cleared for the shelves. From raw materials to the finished product, our team rigorously tests every batch in the lab to ensure the highest. Once quality is assured in the lab, the ingredients move rapidly to our high-speed manufacturing lines for final packaging. From these purified raw materials, the mixture is carefully blended, packed into tubes, and delivered as the final.
Removing plaque without damaging enamel.
Calcium powder is only one part of the formula.
Glycerin keeps toothpaste smooth and moist.
Sorbitol improves taste and texture.
Fluoride strengthens tooth enamel. Helping prevent cavities.
Every measurement must be exact.
Consistency is everything.
Flavor comes next.
Most toothpaste uses mint for freshness.
Color is carefully controlled.
The goal: smooth, not runny. The goal: smooth, not runny.
Approved for mass production.
Now, the toothpaste takes its final form.
Filled with precision. Sealed for freshness.
Labeled and branded.
Ready for distribution.
Every batch is inspected.
Shipped across the country.
Ending up in homes like yours.
Science, safety, and everyday life connected.